All right, glad to see you all again. We are ready to kick off our second day here, monster slaying, and get ready to get into our content sessions. But before we do that, wanted to introduce our MC for the day, Kate Giovacchini. Hi, Kate.
Hey there, everybody. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Really happy to be here. I have a little short story, hopefully something a little inspiring or at least thought-provoking. And I am wondering if I can go ahead and share my screen, please. All right, let's all brace ourselves to see how well this goes. Okay, is everybody seeing this screen? Creative cartography and business analytics. Okay, so I am going to strongly encourage everybody to unmute their mics, provided you don't have a kid in the background that's doing their homework, although that's okay too. Maybe we could learn something. Laughs, boos, hisses, these are all absolutely welcome as we go through this. So my name is Kate Giovacchini. I'm the Director of Business Quality and Data Analytics at EdPlus. I have 2 degrees from ASU, 7 years of tenure as a staff member, and I've worn a lot of different hats. But a hat that you may not be aware of is that, like all of us now who are slaying the data monsters, I also play Dungeons and Dragons. And you can see me there. I've protected some of the faces of the innocent, but you're gonna ask, why maps? Why are we talking about maps? When you're making maps, you're making the intangible tangible. Why data? Data is about turning data into knowledge, right? Data is just a set of discrete points until we combine them creatively to make something interesting, something that informs us, something that helps us move forward. So picture it, a new request arrives and we say to ourselves, maybe my first instinct is right. And you say, what am I looking for? Okay, first instinct, not so hot, right? Doesn't look great, not really anything. Okay, let's try to fill in the lines a bit more. You're out there, you're in the warehouse, you're looking at my reports, you're digging through. Okay, you think maybe you found the data set that you're interested in attacking. All right, a little bit more investigation. Okay, we have some bridges, we have some plains, we have some lakes, we have an idea of what we're going to do for mountains. Maybe this is the data set that's right for us. Okay, now let's imagine the first time that we worked with that data set. We say, how do I make this work? I think we can all agree that the first couple swipes that we take at a data set, at a report, to find the knowledge that we need, they're a little elementary, right? We are querying. Query's too large, it never finishes running. We are querying 0 results. Oof, I went a little too far that time, but we move forward, we keep messing around with it. Okay, we're getting a little bit better. We have some contours, we have some shape, we have some understanding of how this sucker works. And then before you know it, you're adding in color. This thing is like old hat to you, right? You've got it. I know exactly how this report works. This request is gonna go like that. Nailed it. Maybe not, right? So sometimes those old techniques don't quite work. So you have to dust it off. You say, never mind. Back to the drawing board. You dust it off and yeah, okay, I can make this data set work for the request that I need. I know what this shape is like. And I have gotten back into it. So we say, yes, I've absolutely nailed this now. Okay, we're looking good. We're making the intangible tangible. We're turning data into knowledge. Let's talk a little bit about fudging it. Who here's fudged it a little? No, I think this is gonna work. This will be fine. You know, I'm just gonna make it work. Okay, that doesn't look, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, right? But the person that asked me, I know that they want it for something important. So it's time to try a new technique. Okay, that looks pretty good. Time to try a new technique. Okay, still time to try a new technique. Okay, I like the second one best. So as I was drawing this map, the joy of iteration while you're in the process is so fun, right? So you start off this seems like it's going to be the easiest thing for me. And then you say, I'm going to try something a little bit different. This is an unusual function that I'm using. I'm going to use a little bit of a different data set. I'm going to apply some different filters that I suspect will work. So you play around. There's also that sense of play, which I think really combines analysis and creativity. And you get down and you get your favorites. Like we see here, this was perhaps my favorite. All right, so we say, there it is. All right, we've got some color, we've got some shape. I think we know where we're gonna go. This request is really starting to come together. And then you say, wait, something important is missing. What did I forget? Okay, back to the drawing board. I need another report. I need to go grab another table because I'm missing a long description, or I can't quite make sense of the code. Yeah, so that happens when you're drawing maps too. You get halfway through and you say, something important is missing, something that's really gonna add the extra oomph to this request. Okay, so we go just one more time, going back to the details, and then we can zoom back out and we say, all right, we've got it together. Okay, now it's time for some visualization, right? So boom, the data is all together. It's in the table format that we need it to be. The report is pivoted correctly and we're ready to pull it out. And maybe it's time to get down into some details, right? It's at this point when we have everything cleaned up, ready to go, hey, maybe the key points emerge. So when you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, you're using your imagination to write a story or to create an image, it's always important to find those waypoints. What are the important things that exist in this image or this documentation or even in this data request, right? Even in this data set, this visual I'm gonna make. What are the key points that I need to emphasize? Hey, guess what? The relationships also reveal themselves, right? So once you have those key points, you figure out what you're looking for. We have relationships. When we think about this with maps, we think about where would people want to live, right? Would they want to live next to a lake? Would they live in a verdant valley? Would they live on the coast? And then we have to immediately ask ourselves, how do those people interact with each other? What are their relationships? What ties them together? And data sort of behaves the same way, right? Like, why does this data exist? How does it tie to other things? How does it show us what is happening here at ASU? So boom, all of a sudden, right, we have it. Here it is, the complete picture. We went from nothing to something, right? Using experimentation, using new techniques, using old techniques, dusting off things that we haven't messed with in a long, long time. So I think the moral of this story is, whether you're drawing a fantasy map or you're fulfilling a data request or you're building a new table in your data mart or you're creating a beautiful visual that is going to tell a story about something important in a student's life, it's important to remember that you can't go from this to this without using creative solutions. So that is my data inspiration for the day. I hope you all are feeling a little inspired and reminded that we are all creating something out of essentially a lot of nothings. And if that doesn't make you feel powerful, important, and competent, I absolutely do not know what will. Speaking of powerful, important, and competent, we are going to talk a little bit about the wonderful data acknowledgements that we've been seeing in the ASU data community. I don't know if Roger Davies is here. Do we have Roger Davies? Maybe. Roger Davies really put the celebratory form through its paces by submitting several things. He wants to thank Zach Walker for making problems go away. He wants to celebrate Jason Green because he fixes my problems at 1 in the morning when the rest of us are dead to the world. A lot of us have had that experience with Jason Green, so a lot of us can share that thank you. Roger Davies also wants to recognize Matthew De La Rosa for fighting the good fight, I guess, against S3ARN permission. So Matthew, for whatever you're doing, we thank you and appreciate you. Jessica Yater would like to celebrate Alicia Raditz. Alicia's been instrumental to me in my role. She is also someone I love to pass my creations to for input and feedback. I guess that's one point that I missed. Input and feedback are crucial. but always great to be able to share work and get constructive feedback. She has also been instrumental in pulling some of the ASU data that I need for my role, and is just an overall data monster slayer human. Very cool. Thank you, Alicia, for that. Roger Davies recognizes more people. Kendall Burkhart, Kendall, I believe, is here for going above and beyond helping MuleSoft play with the data lake. So thank you so much, Kendall. Roger also wants to celebrate Dixon Ricker. Dixon for keeping my health check notification alerts and password reset logic for making everyone at ASU hate me. So if you didn't know, if you have any problems with your password resets or health check notification alerts, I'm guessing that you need to reach out to Dixon Ricker. You should probably just CC Roger. No, I'm just kidding. I'm absolutely joking. Don't do that. Do what the health app says. Email the email. Or really maybe just reach out to Dixon. Okay, Aaron works at Polytechnic School of Advising, wants to celebrate Nancy Dixon and Aaron Gortz. Aaron, I apologize. I never know how to say your last name. Nancy and Aaron are always so helpful and knowledgeable when I need assistance. Diane Gray wants to call out Dixon and Nancy. Thanks for their quick, patient, and helpful responses. We've got Liz Riley wants to celebrate Zach Walker. Zach does, sorry, that was Elizabeth Riley, of course. Zach does an awesome job with our health check reporting, so thank you, Zach. Jennifer Jones wants to call out Liz Harrington for consistently working to create better data practices and analysis at ASU. So if you want to get your name in lights, which you should, if you want to recognize the wonderful people that you work with, please head over and Elizabeth and Brandy, where can people find the link to that form to submit their celebrations?
You will make sure that we highlight it again in the channel for the data conference. And I think Kristen just put the link in the chat.
Yeah, so everybody pop that link open and save it in one of your tabs. And as you go through today, let's talk a little bit about what to expect today in this wonderful Tuesday of programming. At 9:30, we're going to have Mr. Josh Johnson presenting 5 bite-sized breakouts related to data architecture, Zoom. I mean, it's all over the board with Josh, as we can expect. He is a real Renaissance man, and we'll be able to see that. Hunker down for an hour if you're interested in seeing that. We also have some wonderful concurrent presentations by Liz Harrington, Victoria Poshkoff, and Rich Sparza. There will be a training session from 9:30 to 11:10 with Kristen Kennedy, who's going to do a fabulous job of talking about Alteryx if that's something that's new to you. There'll be a break at 10:20, so nobody leave their computers until after we're done here, and then 10:20. And then we'll go into some excellent concurrent sessions from 10:30 to 11:20. Those will feature Emily Ife with Map to Treasure, an Ed Plus approach to documentation and standards. I don't know about you guys, but when I hear documentation and standards, I get really excited. Kristen's going to present on Analytics 101. Jason Bradshaw, Kimberly Beckert, and Nicholas Olm will be presenting Swirl, methods and tools to visualize and analyze student retention and major migration patterns. That sounds very cool, especially in our times as retention and student patterns are probably changing as we speak, just like all of our patterns have changed over the last year. And it looks like we will also have Stephen Yenna, Sean Setterstrom, and Ferenc Fair. They're going to be presenting accelerated degree programs, adapting data and technology to leverage graduate opportunities. So it's going to be an absolutely very cool day. I hope everybody checks out and they know exactly what they're going to attend. Elizabeth and Brandy, if people are split, their hearts are split between attending 2 that are facing off, are they going to be able to watch those later?
Yes, the sessions will be recorded and we will share those. I believe, Aaron, the links are going in the Slack channel at the conclusion.
No, they have to be edited first, and then they go onto the YouTube channel. So it'll take a week or so to get them all together because there'll be quite a few, but they do need to be edited and cleaned up first.
Awesome. Thanks, Aaron.
That's fabulous. Yeah. So attend one and don't feel too bad about missing the other, because you'll be able to jump right onto YouTube, and Aaron, Elizabeth, and Brandy will make it very easy to find those, and they'll live forever, like all the wonderful things on YouTube too. So Elizabeth, Brandy, do we have anything else that we'd like to tell people before we set them loose on their first break?
I think you got it.
All right, wonderful. Well,
Excellent.
on behalf
Thanks,
of Elizabeth
Kate.
and Brandy, thank you all so much for attending, and very, very excited to see you all in some sessions today. So thank you.
Likewise.
Thank you, Kate.
Bye, everybody.
Have a great conference, everybody. We'll see you soon.